This video picks up our 4-day bike ride at the Alabama state line. In our last video, I showed you our ride from one end of the Silver Comet to the other. And here I'm going to pick up and show you what we rode at the Chief Ladiga to Piedmont, Alabama, and then our trip home with more information about the bike equipment we got and took with us on the trip, in case you're interested and you've never done anything like this either.
There's this nice picnic area. My mouth is full. Nice picnic area right at the state line.
Yeah.
No restrooms, but it does have trash cans and tables. All right, we're about 7 miles from our Airbnb for tonight.
So honestly, I kind of like the Chief Ladiga scenery better. No, not kind of, I do.
We've passed quite a few rivers, wouldn't you say? How many, like 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty big ones that had bridges over them.
And sadly, I think this has all been downhill. Sadly, just because tomorrow it will all be uphill. Yeah, we actually stopped one more time because the mountain laurel is blooming over here. So that whole hillside is just full of mountain laurel. So many wildflowers are blooming. And there's another river. I don't know if, I know all this is Coosa watershed because I saw a sign. But I don't know what river we're near. It is. So we're in another thoughtfully appointed Airbnb in Piedmont, Alabama. And oh, there is a light in here. Let's see. This belongs to the folks we met at Rattlesnake Saloon last summer in Muscle Shoals. So it was fun. They're the ones who, that conversation made us decide we were actually going to do this Silver Comet. So this is a house that used to be, this is just straight up country house, and it used to be in their family, and when it came up for sale a few years ago, they bought it to use as an Airbnb. And it is, yes, it reminds me of houses I was in when I was young as well. Okay, we're in downtown Piedmont, going to find our dinner. And what's the name of the place? Shells.
Shells. Although they said there's another place across the street too.
Okay.
Across the street too, but they may not.
Piedmont has a pretty quiet downtown. They clearly are trying to welcome cyclists, and we did find a nice place to eat. If you want, there's another Airbnb there where you can actually spend the night in their local history museum. That's an old house that's converted to an Airbnb. So there are places to stay. It looks like there are also opportunities if you're someone that wants to help the town revitalize, to buy one of the neat old buildings and fix it up.
So we went to the CVS and we successfully got a memory card and some Epsom salts so we can take a soak. And the Airbnb has a sauna. So we're gonna just like detoxify. Piedmont is a sweet little town. Definitely hope it can maintain its cute downtown and grow from here.
After our walk, we sat and joined in listening to some local music.
Day 3.
How you feeling?
I have felt better. My legs aren't sore. But something I ate last night didn't agree with me. So we'll see. I haven't been able to eat breakfast.
So this was decision day. We had toyed with the idea of riding our bikes all into Anniston and then taking Amtrak back. We'd have to leave our bikes behind in storage because as of right now, there's still no way to check your bike onto the train at Anniston. But we decided to go first to Elevated Grounds Coffee Shop and try to eat a little something and then see how we felt.
So we're at Elevated Grounds Coffee Shop and they have a bike section if you need things for your bike or for your hiking if you're on the...
So after we ate, we felt better and decided to go for it. So we turned around and headed back to Atlanta. We had reservations that night in Rockmart.
something holding me back. Cut ties, no lies inside, and I never meant to say that. My eyes wide, I'll run and hide, seaside, and I never wanna go back. A long drive into the night. Bold ease, quiet street.
First bridge of the day.
Sheets didn't realize what it meant then. Heartfelt, me, hell, all but nothing happened, and I fell in. My eyes wide, I'll run and hide, seaside, and I never wanna go back. A long drive into the night.
Tree down.
I'm fine, but I wish I never said that.
I didn't pack anything to cut that up with. Let's see what we can do. Well, that means I guess we're the first ones down the trail. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hoping.
All right, we stopped so I could take a picture on the bridge. What's the name of the bridge?
Buster Miles Bridge.
This stretch has a lot of these really pretty Cherokee roses and blackberries.
Oh, it feels so good when the sun's out. Yeah.
She really likes your dog.
I know, she's just like, I'm going with this little doggy.
That's right. All right, Randy, where are we?
Nicoquana in Cedartown.
We stopped here for lunch and wait out the rain.
Stay out of the rain. Fuel up before we do Mount Trashmore.
You know, I expected to have to push my bike up Mount Trashmore on the way out, but I was disappointed that I had to push my bike just a little tiny bit when we left Cedartown.
I love the bike rack with the welcome sign outside of the Methodist Church. All right, we're starting out for day 4.
Yep.
Woohoo!
37.9 miles back to our car.
Where we hope our car is.
Well, we hope our car is.
So we're in Rockmart. We spent the night at the Econo Lodge.
So
the-
back here and shoot.
Okay. The Econo Lodge was a little bit of a hilly ride, but the roads weren't as busy as the roads to our Airbnb the first time we came through Rockmart. And it's kind of fun. It's very much a budget hotel with a budget price, but the front desk guy seemed really friendly. I assume he's the owner, and he has up in his little breakfast area a bulletin board with people's just photographs of bike tours that have come through, and a bull rider who stayed there. So it's just kind of fun. Even though it is a chain hotel, it doesn't really feel like a chain. Yeah, so overall, I think anybody interested in doing this, if you bike at all, taking the Silver Comet out to Rockmart and spending the night is a fun thing to do. The prettiest part of the trail is further on, and you could start in Cedartown and go toward Anniston and see the really pretty part without some of the worst hills, if you were just trying to avoid hard work.
Cedartown to Piedmont is just a beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a cool little Rockmart streetscape. I think this is neat.
It is neat. It says it's designed by high school students here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
All right, well, here's what we have. We have this cool little electric pump. I kind of like it. It actually doubles as a battery bank, and you just set the inflation pressure that you want and plug it in, and it does its thing. And let's see, what else do I have here? I got some spare tubes and a park tool and just a few little random things, and just in case that thing doesn't work, I got a little hand pump.
Yeah, so we're not, I mean, it's doable for us on this trail for sure. I know some people pack in those tiny little bags. I don't know what they take, but this gives me a great deal of comfort that you have all that stuff with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Not
you know,
too
if
heavy.
you break down in one of the stretches that are,
Could probably do without that thing.
what is that thing?
It's like a multi screwdriver. It's got Phillips, straight
Mhm.
edge, Torx bits, square, all kind of everything you might need. So far, I haven't needed this though, and it's about the heaviest thing I have. And of course, I have some tire forks and a tire change kit.
Yeah, I just keep thinking if you broke down in the middle of one of those remote areas, you'd have a 5-mile walk to anything, and that would just be a road crossing or a
That would be a
trailhead.
bummer. Yeah.
So there's a great book about a guy who bicycles around southern Spain called It's Not About the Bike. And I kind of know, like if you're in your 20s, that's probably true. Just get on whatever bike you can find and start riding. But for me, buying a modern bike was it because we had older bikes from, I don't know, the 80s that we would still ride occasionally. And then we had rental bikes. And during the pandemic, we got a new bike. And the difference is amazing. So I would say if you're in your 50s, like our age, and you want to start biking, just make sure you get a bike with the granny gear. And I don't know.
You can show it. A set there of gears, and then one is extra big.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the granny gear.
yeah, and
Makes your life easy climbing hills.
it does.
Easier,
And
possible.
If you were starting biking like we did in your 50s, and you're in a hilly area, it makes it possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I know all you really hardcore cyclists, if any of you watch this, you're like, because it's kind of embarrassing for them to be seen using granny gear. But for those of us who just want to start as a recreational activity, it's really important. This trail is really well maintained, and there are trash cans pretty frequently, which is nice. And we're at the Brushy Mountain Tunnel.
This is off the side of the Pumpkinville Trestle. It is very high.
Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about my bike some more, in case you are thinking, biking looks fun, but I'm in my 50s or 40s and I don't know anything about it, because I didn't either. But we are just using the saddles that came with our bikes. Our bikes are pretty nice, and so the saddles seem fine to us, but they make all sorts, and you can keep trying until you get one that's comfortable. And buy the bike shorts, even though they seem goofy, You really have to have those if you're going to ride. But one thing you don't have to have, but I have now, is shoes with clipless pedals. We've had them for a year. Is that right? Yeah. And this is the first time I've used them because I've been afraid of them. We got the hybrid kind that you can use either with the thing that holds the shoe that's not called a clip for some stupid reason, or the part that doesn't. So I have been riding on the flat part for a year. And Randy's been using the clips, and I've been afraid because I've seen him fall a couple times. And then I fell once when I had it clipped in accidentally. But I used them on this trip, and it's really fine. It was a perfect place to learn because it's not got cars. So.
And just like that, we were almost back to our car, which, by the way, was undisturbed in the parking lot where we left it. I wanted to give just a recommendation of Comet Trail cycles. We've used them to do some maintenance on our bikes. We really like them. And if you don't have a bike, you can rent one at Comet Trail and see a little bit of the Silver Comet. It is right toward the beginning of the Silver Comet in Atlanta. So that's it. 4 days. Something we had never done before, but we really hope to do again. Maybe someday Amtrak will carry bikes from Anniston to Atlanta, and then it could be a weekend trip even for recreational cyclists like us to get out to Anniston and take Amtrak home. But this year we hope to do at least one more long bike ride. If you want to see us do that, subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching all the way to the end.